Hi, welcome to Dating Intelligence, the podcast where we give relationship advice from dating to marriage and everything else in between. And always with the goal of helping you to continuously be the best you at all times. Hi.
So if you're looking for real, honest, Chris, if you're looking for real, honest information to help navigate your relationship, we've got you covered. You sent me.
Okay.
You guys, I always forget my tagline, and I didn't read it when you sent it to me, and this was like the original one that I changed.
The one I sent you. You mean the one
that you just texted me because you're like, hey, we've had a little break. Do you remember your tagline? I'm like, no.
All right, guys. So hello, guys. Anyways, Jamie and I we're back, as you can tell. We're back, and it's a new season for us starting out. So this is going to be a fun episode. We started off grand already with our mess up our intros, but that's what makes this episode and our relationship getting better and better, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's up from here.
All right. I think that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to start off, guys. First of all, we're going to say hello and welcome back. Like I said, a new episode, a new season. We're going to tell, first of all, let's backtrack some. Let's just talk about, how was your holidays, by the way?
I just want to say you look so freaking amazing.
Do I look dapper? You're kind of like my little, like just on TV right now. Let's see if I can see myself. Thank you.
And I'm just like... Yeah. My hoodie.
Well, you know what? But you're comfortable.
My bras hanging out. Like I might have a weapon under here. Who knows?
It's so funny. I've missed this one a lot. People, so I don't get to see Jamie very often, but we get together. We just laugh the whole time, by the way, because we just have so much to catch up on and we just giggle and laugh the whole time.
We're trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how were your holidays?
I mean, mine were, it's holidays. It's just one of those things where everything kind of goes, and then at the last part of it, you just kind of over it. Does that make sense to you? It was such a good holiday. Like we had full family. I'm talking about the ex, the in-laws, my girlfriend's mom was there, and just 10 of us. It was amazing. We I had to find these two big boxes the size of think of 8 feet tall boxes.
Yeah. That
my littlest one had been wanting for 2 Christmases, by the way. I'm such a good dad that I decided to run out and hunt for 2 big boxes. And I found 2 big boxes from this woman who was using them as couch boxes, and had to get a U-Haul on Christmas Eve.
What?
U-Haul them to my house. That's how big they are. And then put them in her room until the last part of she opened up everything. We showed her into her room, and that was the last part of her gift.
Wait, I'm confused. Is it like a cardboard box?
Cardboard box. Sorry. Yes. Cardboard box. Just empty boxes.
What the fuck did
She's
she do
been
with
wanting
them?
from Santa 2 big boxes because she likes to make forts and just to tumble and playing them. And
my gosh. I was on Instagram.
Okay.
And
Did you see the boxes?
I came across this video of this dad, and you're reminding me totally of this. He literally gathered boxes during COVID, cut holes in the top and the bottom, taped them together, and made a tunnel down the stairs.
Oh, that's fun. I could do that.
So the kids wrap up in blankets and they fly down the fucking stairs.
Oh, I like that.
Through this tunnel. I was so fucking excited. I started searching for boxes.
Are you sure that was an Ant-Man? There was an Ant-Man. There's a scene like that. You watching Ant-Man?
No, but now I want to do it.
Watching Ant-Man?
I want to do it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like in Ant-Man, they literally go down the
idea.
stairs. He made this tunnel. And Ant-Man, he made a tunnel for his daughter, and they went shooting down like a sled through the whole house, and they end up outside.
I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Well, my stairs, I'd probably die because I'd crash into the wall. But if anyone has a cool staircase that I can come over and do this,
we're putting it out there, people. If anyone with a straight down staircase, we can use a sled.
Okay, so what is she doing with the boxes?
So she opened up the door. We had big bows on them. She looked for a moment and goes, it took her almost like a minute to register because it's all in video. And she goes, Santa brought these. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Yes.
How old is she?
She's 8 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so she played with those boxes probably half the day that she was there.
When do you have the Santa conversation?
Okay. So this is a good conversation as well. So my girlfriend literally, my little one looked at her one day and said, this is about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Is Santa real? Just flat out. And she goes, well, what do you think? She goes, I don't know, because friends at school are telling me that he's not real. And she goes, well, you're getting presents, right? She goes, well, yeah. So someone must bring them. Well, yeah. Well, so would you care if Santa brought them or not? Nah, I don't care as long as I get presents. That was her response. She doesn't give a shit. She just knows that the tree has a ton of presents underneath and she's happy to go.
I always tell my kids, I was like, I avoided the question. So they're like, is Santa real? And I'm like, look, if you don't believe, then he doesn't come.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we believe.
But what age is that about?
It's like the magic in the holiday.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like, just believe in the magic of it. Like that's really what it is. Like, is a man going to sneak in our house and come down the chimney and bring presents?
Right.
Probably not, because if any man comes into our house, he is not walking out.
I don't think in your place there's no way he's going to be able to get out there alive. Basically.
But yeah, it's so weird now because you hear so many parents say, I don't want to lie to my kids.
Right, but I also feel like the kids are going to get it from their older siblings or just from school. Like she said, friends at school, which is normally what
that's
happens.
normal.
And unfortunately, being in Los Angeles, there's a lot of different denomination types of religions. And so some celebrate, some don't. So we have to be, if your friend is, let's say, Jewish or non-denominational, they don't believe in that stuff. So what makes them, so when a kid asks, well, how come you're not getting presents on this day and you don't have this day and we do?
Yeah, and the Jehovah's Witness. Mm-hmm. Like when I would bring in treats for my kids or like we did cupcakes for the birthdays, they couldn't have the cupcakes.
Wait, your kids couldn't have the cupcakes?
No, the Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, gotcha.
They couldn't have the cupcakes because they can't celebrate the birthdays, which always made me feel so sad because you almost feel like they're left out, but they're like, I would just be like, eat the cupcake.
Right.
It's okay. It's not for the birthday.
Have you ever seen those kids that spend the night at your kid's house? Like I'm learning that now. The kids that can't have like sugar or candy.
Yeah, they have peanut allergies and shit.
No,
I'm
not
like,
that.
Oh.
I'm just saying when they come over and they all of a sudden they get a bite of peanut or like peanut M&Ms or candy or Doritos or something. All of a sudden they're like, you see their eyes light up and they just go more, 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 more. I feel awful when they leave our place all the time because that they're just like corrupted now and they're going to go home wanting that stuff from their parents.
When you were growing up, were there allergies in class?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Me neither.
We just brought case.
What about you when you were in school?
Anything?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like peanut allergies and shit?
Peanut allergies, it gets like weirder and weirder. Like, I mean, kids have gluten allergies now and like.
But when you were in school, were there gluten allergies?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm older than you, so when I was in school, I didn't even know what the fuck gluten was.
Yeah, there was none of that stuff. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're at Sticky Paw Studios, and that's Chase in the background he's our producer.
Chase is on the case, guys.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, way back in the day, though, they said, just stop, drop, and roll. If you got an allergy and you're gluten, whatever, and you start blowing up, you just roll them in some dirt. Remember that whole thing? Just rub some dirt on it. You're good to go. That's what it was like.
Which all the talk of stop, drop, and roll when we got older, like we never really got to like stop, drop, and roll.
No, I still stop, drop, and roll when I see anything.
Like you think it's so important.
It's just fun.
Anyway.
Do that with my girlfriend all the time.
Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll, babe.
So we're like talking about like gifts and gift giving since the holiday just passed.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to be discussing today, guys. So we are on a topic today, and I just like catching up with you. Just so much to catch up on, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But wait, before we get into this, guys, sorry, I have one more story to share, and this is actually one of those things. You asked me how my holidays were, and I'm sure everyone out there can feel the same way about this. So Christmas Eve, going out to start getting last minute food, last minute gifts, last minute whatever. It's a shit show, as we all know, right?
Yes.
So I go out, super calm, and I get to a Whole Foods, and so I'm in line. So there's the self-checkout line, and then there's the main line. So the one downtown in LA has one long line that you can't see the self-checkout line until you actually get closer down the road in order to go, oh, there's self-checkout, let's go that way. So we get in the self-checkout line, have to wait in this long-ass line. Didn't realize that we had some kombucha in there that's actually alcohol. So you can't check out alcohol on the self-checkout lines, right? Fucking hell. So we go back in line again and start all over again. So now I get to the front. And so Jamie goes, my girlfriend goes, hey, I'm going to get some coffee. I'm like, great. So she's going to get me a latte in the shop. And I get to the front of the line, maybe like 3 people deep now and 3 people in front of me. This woman who decided to bring her big ass cart through the self-checkout line got denied. She comes right to my point and goes, hey, I was in line here earlier. Do you think I could get in the spot in front of me? I look at her basket and was like, it's filled to the top, her grocery basket, right? It's Christmas Eve again, so I'm in a good spiritual mood. I said, sure, no problem. I only have like 4 items. She goes, but you have a little less stuff. And I go, no. You made it this far. You might as well. It's Christmas Eve. I'm not going to be mean. You can get in front of me sort of situation. So she jumps in front of me. Thank you very much. Now, as it's my turn to get to the cashier and after number 5, come up to number 5. So I start walking to number 5. This guy with the suit proceeds to come out of nowhere and jumps at the cashier in front of me. And I was like, okay, and the cashier goes, sir, you got to wait in that long line back. He goes, but I only have a little soup, and I didn't know the line was. So I go, you know what? It's Christmas Eve. It's okay. He can go in front of me. I don't mind. I'm holding my little stuff. She goes, oh my God, you're so nice. I go, no, it's okay.
What about all the people behind you?
I can't do anything about that because I'm already at the cashier and I'm already, once he gets the second thing now. So I let him go. So now, days going on, I have to run to the store to go grab, let's say, I don't know, some ice or something, right? So I go to this one store. I'm in there, grab the ice. I look at the long line. I go, oh, I can't do this shit. So I put the ice back where it was and just walked out of the store. Now I'm getting a little kind of irritated. So I go to another store. This is my 4th store of the day now, right?
On Christmas Eve.
On Christmas Eve. And it's still like maybe only like 2 hours in. Okay, so I go to this other store now, and then there's like the parking lot's jam-packed. So I'm waiting for this car to pull out of its parking space. So it pulls out of its parking space and sits there on the road as I'm, and I can't turn in his spot because he's sitting there, right? Once he decides to leave about 2 minutes later, the car behind him, who came out of nowhere, boom, 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 just jumped in the spot. I was like, motherfucker, you kidding me right now? Now I'm breathing a little bit harder now. I go, okay, you know what? It's Christmas Eve. Fuck this shit, right? And I was about to get out and yell at the lady, but I go, I can't do that. So I leave that store and go to one more store because I had to go get salmon from somewhere else. So I go to the fish.
Is my mouth open?
I go to the fish market now, right? This is the last part of the store. I go to the fish market. Now I'm just like walking in. I'm at my wit's end because I've gone to 5 stores now just to get a bunch of different shit. I go in the store. I go to the fish guy. And he goes, hey, I need that piece of salmon right there. It was like a beautiful piece of salmon. He proceeds to grab out this big piece of salmon, sticks his thumb in it as he's pulling out and like starts denting it with his thumb. He goes, is this the piece you want? I go, it's dented now and you fucking ruined the salmon now. Put that shit back and give me it. I went off on him. In other words, I was at my wit's end. This is when I go, it would have been nice, but you fucking ruined it. Now give me another piece. And I was like, holy shit, where'd that come from? So in other words, it was a buildup of the day of people, what I'm getting at on my Christmas Eve. And we all know that Christmas Eve fucking sucks. And I was the nicest person at that last point.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I was like, I felt bad because he was this young kid who didn't know any better, but that was my wit's end.
Well, he fucking knows now, right?
Not to dent the fucking salmon. Who wants a dented piece of fucking salmon with your thumbprints in it?
I mean, you're eating it anyway. Does it really fucking matter?
Yes, to me it did at that point. Only at that point. Now, another day, probably not. But just that time, it really mattered a lot. All right, so I'm off my horse now. But I'm just letting everyone know, if you have this issue on Christmas Eve, which I'm sure everyone has, at least 90% of our listeners has had some shittiness happen to them on that day. And how patient really are you, first of all?
Yeah.
And as the day goes on, when are you at your wit's end?
I would have called it quits and just went home.
But that's giving up. And no, it's not giving up. You're right. I did do that. I just went home after that. So after 2 hours later. Yeah.
And I don't have a partner to be like, tag, you're it. Go get the salmon.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I did it all. It's okay. But all right, anyways, guys, sorry about that long-winded story, but we're going to get into our episode right now. And like Jamie said earlier, our episode for the day with just Jamie and I, it's kind of nice to have us on our own today and just doing an episode.
Yeah, we're kind of
It's called Gift Giving Too Early. After the holiday spirits of all the holidays and da-da-da, I was like, you know what? This would be a good segue into doing this topic. So so gift giving too early, guys? What to give, and is it too early, too big, or too small? So we're going to talk about today about, let's say it's your first date. Let's say you've been dating someone maybe 2 or 3 times, a birthday's coming around or holidays are coming around, or quite frankly, you're just one of those people who just want to give a gift to someone after the first or second date. Is it appropriate or not? These are what we're going to talk about. Okay.
So you as a male, would you ever show up to a first date with a gift?
When I was
Have you?
18, maybe.
You did?
18 years old. I mean, I'm young. That's stupid. You think that that's what you're supposed to do. No, I have not. Unless, I don't think I have.
Has a girl ever showed up with a gift for you?
I've had girls, we'll get into all that. I've had girls buy me gifts after the first, my significant other has. After we went out on our first re-dating, she actually was in New York, and this is actually a really good story. She was in New York after we went on our one date, and we just hit it off, and she was in New York for a week, and actually calls me and goes, hey, what's your clothing size? She proceeded to bring me back like almost a huge wardrobe of clothing.
What?
But it was awesome, though. And I go, no one can shop for me, first of all. But the fact of the matter is she bought me stuff that I actually really was like, damn, you can shop for me. That was kudos.
I love
she won brownie points for that.
Oh, she gets points.
A lot of brownie points for that. Right. But
that was early on.
That was like, actually, we just rekindled our relationship again. So it was very early on.
I love that.
Yeah.
So first of all, no one's ever showed up on my fucking doorstep to take me on a date with a gift.
Not the first date or anything?
No.
Okay.
No. And then flowers, I feel like for like a first date, it's almost like a little cheesy.
Right. It's a little cliche. I feel like.
I would be embarrassed. So I think I would feel like, it was a little weird.
Okay.
And my favorite flower is like the peonies or peonies.
I love peonies.
Yeah,
peonies.
I don't know how to say. I feel like people always correct me. So is it peonies or peonies?
I'll stick with
peonies.
Both of them. Peonies. Yeah.
Peonies.
Yeah.
That sounds better than the other one.
Right. Just call them ponies from now on.
Okay.
Just stick somewhere in the middle. You can't go wrong. Well, I actually reached out to some people on social media actually the other day and asked them. I said, "Hey, what do you guys feel about a gift for a first date? Is it appropriate or not?"
Yes.
And there were some good responses. And some of the responses were stuff like, for instance, one guy said, and this is a good one here. So there was a few people that said there was a lot of responses for flowers and chocolate. That was one. And I feel like that's standard. I feel like they said flowers are good ones as long as they're not roses. So a lot of people put those on there as well because I feel like roses are a little more intimate. But just getting like peonies or just some bouquet, as long as it's not a cheap ass bouquet, I think it's good.
I feel like I would rather them have it delivered.
Before your first date?
After the first date.
Okay.
I feel like that would be like sweet, but if you show up with flowers, it's going to make me feel awkward because then I got to take them in, put them in freaking water.
Oh yeah, and it takes
weird.
away from the. Like I would make you carry it the whole date, actually, the whole time on the date.
Oh my gosh! Or like what I've had before is someone take like the rose, or when people come around the restaurant and then they buy me a rose. That always makes me feel a little.
I feel
awkward.
like that's awkward too. I sit there and feel awkward when they walk by, and they're looking right at the guy all the time. I feel like
they put pressure on the guys,
right.
and I'm like, just don't.
Right.
I don't even want to carry it around. And then what are we going to do with one rose when we get home?
Right.
I mean, I get it. The gesture's nice, but. I want to be like, save your 20 bucks.
Pressured, like, gesture.
It's like freaking the holidays.
Yeah.
Like I feel pressure and I don't like it. I want to buy you a gift just because, not because it's freaking Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever.
Well, that's my belief on Valentine's Day. Like I'm not an advocate of Valentine's Day.
Yes,
like,
I'm not
an
advocate to it. I agree with you 100%. I'm not an advocate for a lot of holidays, and I don't mean to sound like a Grinch or like pessimistic, but first of all, I don't like being told what to do. And I don't want pressure to buy something just because society says this is the day.
I agree with you 100%.
So I would so much rather my guy come home and be like, babe, I found this. And, just
right.
it's a surprise.
We're on the same page with that because that's one of the reasons why I can't stand Valentine's Day, because it's like, I don't need a day to tell someone that to tell them that I love them or to give them gifts.
Right.
When you should be telling them you love them and showering them anyways all the time.
It's such a freaking scam, you guys. Don't do it. Save your money.
The prefix meals and stuff as well. That's just
then going to dinner, like do not take me to dinner on Valentine's Day.
That's a shit
Can
show.
we just like stay home and make mac and cheese?
But some people really, really, they
Gluten-free.
enjoy it. They want it. Gluten-free. No sugar, please. Sorry, inside joke. But most people, like, they relish in those times. And I just look at them and go, are both of them really into that moment at that point in time when they know they're going to, hey, we're going to our favorite restaurant, honey. They're doing the prefix 5-course meal, which it's been sitting in a fucking heat lamp for the past, hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's why they do them in segments.
And it's like triple the price.
Yeah, exactly. It's jacked up. So I don't like that at all. I'll do everything around it just to be spiteful.
Yeah.
So.
And then, so I always have like a few extra gifts on hand at my house around the holidays because sometimes the neighbor will come over with something and then I'm like,
that's
fuck,
smart.
I have nothing for them. I hope my neighbors aren't listening right now. They're like, this bitch.
Maybe you should jump on that for next year and just pass it out like 3 days before.
So yeah, I'll have like, a few like, candles, like gift baskets, whatever. And then that way I'm like prepared if they like come over and they're like, hey,
are they wrapped
happy
already
holidays.
as well? Are they wrapped?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're all like wrapped and ready to go. So I usually have like a little stash and then I'm like, oh, hold on, let me grab yours. And then I run to the little closet.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I learned
that bitch
real
gave me
quick.
The same candle for the third year in a row.
Oh my gosh. But I mean, it's just something because I feel, or like when your friend gets you a gift and
there's pressure.
Like they spend a couple $100 and then I'm like, shit, your gift was only $25.
Right.
So I just, all together, it's so uncomfortable for me.
I know. I hear you on that too. It's just, I'm all about that. Just like the whole thing about gifts, which I do like to get people, but I never want to expect anything in return because it's like when they ask me for my birthday or for like Christmas, I'm like, I don't really want anything, because if I want it, it's like, I'm very specific on what I want. And basically it's just like, quite frankly, want any more crap.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I really feel bad when you give someone something and you hear from their spouse, so, oh yeah, they just put it in the closet because they don't really use that stuff. And you can't return anything. That's the other thing as well that you get from friends, unless you really know that friend. And they say, oh, by the way, here's a gift. And if you want to return, just let me know and you can be honest with them. But who's going to do that?
I'm not doing that. No. Yeah. Do you re-gift your gifts? Be honest.
I got a lot of friends watching this all the time.
Over here.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, you know what? I'm going to say no now, just because all my really good friends who give me gifts, don't look at me that way. Okay, a couple of things. Yes, I do. But I was going to say, no, I'm just going to say, but a lot of my friends give me what I want. They give me tequila. They give me like some form of Jack Daniels, which is amazing. An off-brand or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that
Do you hear that?
I do.
Is it raining?
I just turned the fan on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because I'm fucking sweating over here.
Sorry.
No.
Jamie's ADD has
like,
caught on to me over this past 6 months that we've been together. So now I'm like, squirrel, just like you now. So
yes.
No, I do get gifts from people, and they know exactly that it's either tequila or some sort of Jack Daniels situation. Anyone listen to this? Tequila or Jack Daniels?
So I don't drink, but all my fucking friends drink. And you guys know that I'm a huge advocate for Microtech. So lately when I travel with Microtech, the owner of the company, Tony, he's freaking amazing. He always orders the best wine at dinner.
Okay.
So, and I've had this wine before because my best friend, her favorite wine is Caymus. Shout out to Caymus. Have you heard of Caymus?
I love Caymus.
Okay. Yeah. So now every time we go to dinner, so I post the Caymus a few times on my stories. So now people are like, hey, we want to send you Caymus. And I'm like, what? So now I'm getting Caymus and I'm like, maybe I should start drinking.
Right. Or maybe you should send her Jack Daniels, people. And,
do you like Jack Daniels?
Where have you been the past 10 minutes just now?
Well, no. I hear you, but yeah. I feel like there's better.
Okay, yes, there are, but as far as like the taste and like I don't drink it straight. By the way, it's not that I drink straight Jack Daniels. I mix it with Diet Coke, so that's a mixture drink for me. If I'm going straight, I'll obviously a higher level whiskey is always appropriate. Okay. Yeah,
I was just gonna be like, hey, it's Jack Daniels whiskey.
it's a whiskey, yes.
So what about the Japanese whiskeys?
I've tasted it. It's just once again, it's one of those things where I'm not a huge connoisseur of all this stuff. It's like drinking brandies or scotches. Like my girlfriend, she loves scotches and she's a big advocate of it. So just recently we were talking to some other friends going, you know what, I would love to do like a tasting with all of you guys to know it better. But I just know what I like. I'm very simple when it comes to that stuff. I don't sway out and try, an old fashioned I'll do every now and then, but I just don't like them. I like a drink that's just in ice.
You're kind of a cheap date.
I am. Yeah, I get kind of look it up pretty fast.
And then look at me, I don't drink, and I'm like, can I get a glass of Caymus? They're like, what the fuck, bitch?
Pouring it in the side and stuff. Yeah. Well, all right, so we're going to move on from that, guys. So basically so we got the first date situation out of the way. So let's say you're with someone, I don't know, it's the second or third date.
Okay.
What do you do then? Or how do you feel receiving something, by the way, at that point?
I'm such a giver, so I would so much rather give, and I love to spoil my man, but not when I'm told I have to. So I love random surprises. Dating now, it's been a little different and awkward for me because we're kind of, in the same industry. So it's been a little tricky.
Okay.
But typically I would say I'm the giver, and just sometimes getting gifts makes me feel uncomfortable. But I wish I wasn't that way.
But do you when you give gifts, is it just little sentimental things, are they, or just whatever, you see something, oh my God, it reminds me of that person?
Yeah, so little things, but I kind of like to go big, but I never want to put pressure. So the last couple guys that I've dated, I haven't spoiled that much because I almost feel like, this is going to sound so bad, but I'm just being honest. I out-earned them.
Wait, okay.
So I don't want to make it weird or put pressure.
Do you feel like it's going to make them feel weird though?
I mean, so I feel like I've talked about Taylor, so it's fair to talk about Taylor. So Taylor brought me these fancy boots. These
Guys, if you're watching our YouTube, our video stuff, she's showing these badass boots.
Yes, my CL. So yeah, he would buy me a few nice things, and then I would like spoil him with like, things from like the firearm industry.
Right.
So like I got him a nice AR-15.
But this is over time, though.
That was over time.
Right.
But I guess I've never really. I don't want to put pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm conscious, I guess, of the gifts that I give, because the last few relationships I've been in, I make a little bit more than they do.
Right.
So I don't want to spend like a lot of money on them and then them feel any pressure.
Right. But what about the pressure that you feel if someone gave you something? Like, I mean, do you feel like if a guy, is it coming on too strong? Is it appropriate? These are things that this is such a fine line, topic, because I'll give you an example.
Yeah,
so,
I'm getting a little uncomfortable here. I don't know why.
So one of my friends, he basically, second date, third date, he will go out and get something really expensive that he feels like, oh my God, I want this girl. I really like her. I'm going to buy her something expensive.
What are we talking? Like a Cartier
I don't
bracelet?
know how expensive it's jewelry. For the most part.
On a second date?
I'm telling you. He said, we were talking, I go, are you, don't you feel like it's something that she's going to feel like, okay, well, what else does he want from me? Like there's this pressure now, or
No? No, I think not. I think you never give a gift with any expectation and anything for return.
Correct.
Or it's not a fucking gift.
And that I understand, but what I'm getting at, but we don't know what the other person is thinking, because yes, from the goodness of his heart, the whole outcome of it was, I just like to do it because that's who I am. I love doing that for that person.
There are people like that.
But in the initiating of giving,
yes,
that person will not necessarily know that was what his MO is at the time.
So then he needs to communicate that from the get-go. Because I've had guys offer to like pay for my flights, and I'm like, no, I will meet you there. Because I feel like the second they pay for my flight, I'm almost obligated to like hang out with them.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to get my own flight. I'll see you there. And then I feel a little more free.
Right.
But then I've had people say too, like, hey, what they've communicated up front. Like I had a guy say, hey, I'm going to pay for your flight here. I'm going to be there too with some friends. If we link up, great. If not, it's just my gift to you. That's all it is. There's no expectation. And I genuinely appreciated that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so freaking nice of you.
I like that too. I feel like it's no different, honestly, than if you were going out, let's say, whether it be date 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, if you're paying for dinner, or, and you've gone somewhere and you're paying for dinner, it's the same as a gift giving situation to me. So what's the difference? It's like, you're still doing a gesture for someone. And I feel like as long as it comes from the heart and there's no hidden agendas behind it, because I feel like a lot of people might have a motive behind it and now feel like, well, you owe me situation, because we know there are people out there.
Then
like,
you ask. I think that's where the communication comes in, and that way there's no like hard feelings on either side.
Agreed.
But I just can't imagine me giving a gift to someone and then expecting something.
Well, there's a lot of takers out there as well, as we know that too.
Yeah,
so.
I try and avoid those people altogether.
Right. Yeah. I hear you. I mean, it's just like I said, it's a fine line, and I am one not to. I don't believe in the traditional sort of situations like you were saying as well. Like, I don't think I've ever, except probably when I was 18, maybe 19, and when I really first started dating, bringing flowers or something weird like that, or buying the flower from that woman who walks down the restaurant because she's staring you dead in the eye, going, "Buy my flower from me for your girl," and especially when they stop in front of you and you're like. Okay, and you look, and it's an awkward moment, so you do it, and whether it's right or wrong, you just fucking do it.
I would rather just like give her a 20 and be like, keep the flower.
I've done that. I've done that in the past as well. I just said, here you go. No, we're not.
Or
interested.
the people that come and play music by your table, like I'll just slip them some cash and
pay for those two people who are not paid attention to each other over there. So I agree with that too.
Makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Birthdays, same thing. I'm not big on birthdays. Like some of my friends go all out and throw these big lavish parties. They're birthdaying all month. Like my birthday, I want to avoid at all costs. Like I want to wake up, get through it, and get to the next day.
That's me.
I'm so embarrassed.
Once again, we're the same like that. Once it's like I think it's a Leo quality. I mean,
I know Leos that are like
who want to be just out in front in the open. Yeah. I mean, I was like that for my last birthday because I just turned 51, you know, but it was for my 50th because of COVID. And, you know, my significant threw me a huge party. And I was like, you can throw me a huge party. You should have been there. You should have come. You're invited.
Been there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I was that person at that time because I knew, hey, I mean, I'm only turned 50 once.
Yeah. You know? I feel like that's like a big birthday. Mm-hmm. I missed my girlfriend's birthday last year. And actually, we don't even talk anymore because it was like a big birthday for her.
Do you think she's mad at you?
She's mad at me. Oh. We don't even, like, we've been friends for years. And she used to do my hair.
Okay.
And yeah, she gave me a year notice. She was like, I know that you're busy with your travel, yada, yada. This is when my birthday is. Like,
so
write it down.
Ample time.
1 year. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to miss your birthday. Of course, I know your birthday. Sure as shit, I signed a deal with a company that I had been negotiating with for 2 years. This was like a major deal for me. Found out that my first appearance was the same weekend as her birthday.
Oh.
So when I got my flight information that day, I was like, oh, shit.
She should have been a little more understanding, though.
Do you think?
Of course. If she's a true friend, it wouldn't have mattered.
So this is the deal.
You could have made up her birthday by taking her out the next day.
Well, okay, so that's what I plan to do. So I find out, I get my flight information. She calls me the day I get my flight information. She's like, hey, I just checked the rooms and I don't see your room because first of all, she rented out a yacht to have her birthday. Okay. So it was a big fucking deal. It's in another state. She goes, I just checked the hotel and I don't see your name listed on the rooms. Are you staying somewhere else? I was like, look, I'm not going to be able to make, this is over text. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm not going to be able to make it. I have a job. She blows up. She's like, you've known about this. You weren't even going to tell me. And, I'm so disappointed in you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I tried to call her because I'm like, I want to explain because I feel like what you just said, if she's my friend, she's going to understand. This is like a huge opportunity for me, my family. Look, I'm a single mom. It's not like a one and done job. This is a big deal for me. And she didn't take my call. I'm like, hey, I know you're probably busy before your birthday, blah, blah, blah.
And this was for her 50th
birthday. Okay. It was a big birthday.
Right. I'm just listening to you. I feel like it's an equivalent of her. It's like someone's wedding, of you missing their wedding. It's just such a big deal for her.
I agree.
I feel like it's just like in the moment, she's probably just at that moment, just so like she wants all of her really good friends there. Like a couple of my good friends couldn't make it, and I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Because it was such a big deal. But a part of me was like, oh well, like I was kind of like, damn, they're not coming, and blah blah blah. But because it sucks, you want everyone there to have fun with you.
And trust me, I get it. When I have an event, like when we had our event, it's like the people that show up for you, you're like, wow, that it makes you feel so good. It
does, right.
And the ones that don't show up, you fucking remember.
Yeah.
Like secretly, you kind of remember. So, long story short, like I get it. She sends me a message before my hair appointment.
Okay.
And she's like, hey, I'll see you tomorrow, but I just want to give you a heads up. This is going to be the cost for your hair. And I'm like, what the fuck? I said, cancel my appointment.
Wow.
So I fucking love you to death, but I'm not fucking paying that to get my hair colored.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that reach out to me all the time that would love to freaking do my hair.
Yeah.
My daughter does hair. She
was mad.
It almost like she was pissed. Yeah. And so I said, cancel my appointment. And you know what? I do need to send her something.
Yeah, that's
just
still
to
pretty dirty though, man. She's playing dirty though. I mean,
she's not. I mean, I get it. Like she probably feels like from the other side, like, hey, we're friends.
Yeah.
And I've literally been doing your hair for practically free for the past 10 years. She probably feels used.
One time.
Yeah, she's like,
I get that.
So I understand. She's probably like, you're not really my friend. You're just coming to get your hair done. But I mean, I am her friend and I love her.
Of course.
So long story short, I need to fucking send her a gift because
maybe
and just write her.
Circus.
I need to write her a nice note and just.
Yeah.
I probably should apologize.
I hope this birthday wasn't like far off. And how long ago was this, by the way?
I was actually going to invite you to go with me, Chris.
That would have been fun. So it was recent then.
It was towards the end of last year. It was probably like about 4 months ago.
Okay. All right. That's still fresh. I think Chase, that's still a good amount of time. I feel like she's on the cusp about doing this, losing a friend, or can she save it?
I think you can save it. Yeah. I think you're just like 1 or 2 more months. It's
She's
too
right
late.
at the cusp,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think you're very borderline. You better get that thing done fast, by the way.
I don't know.
So, man, that's a tough one.
Send her like a just because.
Yeah. All right. What about anniversaries? That's another tough one. Now anniversaries to me is more pressure than Christmas, birthdays, anything, because it's something that people expect. And quite frankly, everybody fucking forgets anniversaries all day long. Man. So it's that thing of like one person one-upping the other, say, hey, well, look, I got you. And the other person going, oh, fuck, is it our anniversary?
Yeah.
I think that's rude as hell. That is mean. Yeah.
I'm the one that forgets the anniversary. Right. I don't even know how long we've been together.
But if you preface that, like how my significant and I do, we just put it out there being, look, anniversaries, we're not good at them, da-da-da. I don't expect anything. If we get something, great, da-da-da. I'm not expecting anything back. It's just that I actually remembered this time, and that's why I got you something. That's more of a joke than actually because, of the idea of the anniversary itself.
Yeah. My next relationship, I'm laying it on the line, like from the get-go.
You got to put everything out there.
I'm going to say, look, no birthday gifts, no anniversary gifts, no weird shit.
Start off small. Start with Valentine's Day first and build your way up from there. You don't want to spook the guy because you won't be dating anybody at that point then.
If you want to surprise me with a vacation, I'm all about it.
Right.
But random, not freaking...
Yeah. Random's better.
Yeah,
always random better. So
but give me a few days to prepare, right? I mean, fuck.
You don't go snooping around? That's not your thing either?
No, okay. never, because I'm weirdo. I get embarrassed.
Right.
Like even like phones, like I have girlfriends that go through phones. No way. If I feel like I have to go through your phone, it's like a no-go for me.
I don't even.
Yeah.
You're already
but
on
my
the outs.
phone, do you snoop?
No. I snooped once.
I have snooped, but I
once.
don't.
Yeah, with my ex, I snooped once, and that was when we broke up.
Such a gross word.
But I
snooped.
Okay, I snopped. I snopped just once, and I tell you, after I snopped, I literally felt so bad that I actually took a screenshot of the snooping, put it by her phone, and this is like wee hours in the morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning. I left the house at 4 in the morning. I texted her and the guy she was snopping, by the way, by her bed on the text, and just went out, and I never said anything about it because I was like, I felt awful.
Like you found something?
I found something that proved the reasons on why it happened, and I felt, and I didn't even really care. It just solidified everything for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care. I just felt bad that I snooped. And so for me to snoop, that's like you said, it's the lowest of the low. I was really at a low because I was like, I just want to find out. And I found out. I go, all right, now what? You found out. Now what are you going to do with it? I was like, I'm not going to wake her up. I was standing over the bed. Like I wanted to go, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I'm not that guy.
When you were snooping, was your heart beating so fast like you were going to get caught?
Yeah, always. Even though and by the way, she's literally like right next to me. I'm on her phone. Like she's lying right next to me. And I'm like, it's. Oh
my God.
It was kind of fun, risky, but it's scary as shit.
God.
Yeah.
So when I snooped, sorry, Taylor. I snooped one time. And it made me feel bad because I'm like, he's such a fucking amazing guy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Did you find anything, though?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
You should feel bad.
I know. I was like, and then I'm staring at him while he's sleeping. And I'm like, oh, he loves me so much.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know what? It's the worst thing about all this is that when you think something's going on.
Usually you're right, though.
It's true. Most of the time you are right about that. I'm not going to lie about that. It's absolutely right. So, I mean, God, speaking of holidays, now we're back on the holiday thing and the gift giving thing. So New Year's it's probably like 8 or 9 years ago with my ex-wife. My phone rang on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I had just told one of my guy friends that night on New Year's Eve, and we got home early because we had some friends over. So we went to this one party, and I told him, I go, I've kind of been hanging out with this girl, and but we just messed around, but we haven't done anything more than that. And you know what he told me, as a guy would do? So I go, but I feel like I need to tell. He goes, dude, you don't tell. You never tell. I go, but I want to be honest. I need to tell because it's eating away at me, and it's not that bad, but it was bad enough. So I, went home, was thinking about it, and it just so happens right around 12:10 or something like that, my phone rings. She hands me my phone, and girls are so fucking fast. Like she's literally just passed the phone to me, and I didn't think anything. I go, oh my God, it's just Brent calling me, like one of my friends calling me, right? And I put the phone back down. It was the girl calling me, right? So about an hour later, I was in the bedroom. She comes and she goes, so who is that girl? I was like, what are you talking about?
How did she know it was a girl?
Because she passed the phone that fast. Like once again,
did you have the name saved? Or was it a number?
Her name was on my phone.
Oh, so you
it came
said,
up when it rings.
Okay, I know that, but you saved her name under the number?
Yes.
So she saw the name, dipshit.
Well, she would have.
And was like,
I know that now. Thank you, genius. All I'm getting at is the fact that how
you
fast
never
you women
say the
are.
name.
I know that now, but I mean, sorry, honey, I don't know that now. I would never do that to you is what I'm getting at. I don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking that way, Jamie. I don't do that, first of all, and I didn't know at the time, and I know that now.
This is way before Jamie.
I'm sweating over here now. I promise I don't have any hidden numbers like that. But anyways, what I'm getting at is the fact that she passed it like me thinking that it was so fast that there's no way in hell that she, she's seeing your phone.
No.
So anyways, she goes, I want you to, so who's that girl? I go, what are you talking about? It was my friend Brent. She goes, no, I saw a girl's name on there. I go, I don't know what you're talking about. She goes, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to actually come back out and tell me the truth.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And she left the room and I was in the room going,
fuck.
Why can't I tell the truth? I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to walk out. Yeah, Chris, you know, you're a truthful guy. You're always honest. You can go out there and tell the truth. I go out, I go, okay, I'm ready to tell the truth now. She goes, well, who was I? Go, it was my friend Brent. Like that. She goes, you know what? You're a fucking liar. And I go, you're right. And that's what I was like, you're right. I don't know why I did that. I'm lying. You're right. It was a girl. And I confessed right away because I lied.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I did it. It happened so fast that I went out there going, I'm going to tell the truth. And I actually said it was him again. Now, mind you now, we got through it or whatever after I slept out in the car for a few days and this and that or whatever, went to my office.
What were you afraid of?
Well, what are most people afraid of?
I feel like it's the disappointment.
It's actually, I just got caught and it was the disappointment.
Yeah, it's because you genuinely care and you don't want to hurt the other person.
Right. Yes. You use that as your answer. And I'm going to say yes to that anscer. So I have other answers to that. But,
okay. Well, tell me what you think typically. I know that was your answer.
Girl. You just want the hot girl. You know, Chase, back me up here. We're using you a lot today, Chase.
Yeah,
am I right?
Hot girl, lizard brain says lied.
And by the way, you think with your other half, and quite frankly, if she's coming on to you, and there's one moment in particularly all the time where, for me especially, where it happens maybe few often, like, and I'm around a lot of good-looking women, but every now and then there's just one that comes by and you're like, whoa. And that's the first time that my new significant now, when one time I said, hey, I have a photo of me and this girl. She goes, why do you have her number?
I remember
I remember, and she goes, lose it. And she's never said that.
Knew.
She could give a shit if I talked to girls. But she literally goes, Chris Lewis, I know how you are. Get rid of that number. And I was like, delete, right in her face. I go, oh my God, you're right. Like that. I confessed, you're right. And I deleted it. So that was another holiday story.
Yeah.
It's always around the holidays. Maybe it's just the nostalgia of just being happy.
You know what's really weird? My girlfriend told me the other day, because we went to the spa, and she goes, I just want to point something out. And I was like, what? She goes, I'm detecting a pattern with you. And I said, what's that? And she goes, you always break up with your guys around the holidays. I was like, what? And she goes, think about it. You got divorced right before Christmas.
Okay.
Taylor, right before Christmas. I was like, fuck, you're right.
All right, so let's delve into...
What is it?
Yeah, you were just dating someone recently. Can I, dating... yeah, what's going on with that?
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know. Maybe it's got to be something from your childhood. It's
you
probably
think?
No. What happened on Christmas?
I don't know. So we have a therapist coming in. Maybe she can. Wait, what?
Nothing. I just said no presents.
No presents?
Yeah. I know why I don't like my birthday. Why I try not to celebrate my birthday.
Why?
I realized as I got older because when I was younger, when I was for my 15th or 16th birthday, when my mom and dad had been divorced for a long time, he was in town.
Yeah.
And I was expecting him to come over because I knew he was in town. Did not stop in because he had to leave town. And my mom said he was with my then now stepmom. He was in town with her and did not stop by for my birthday. So at that moment, my mom was really pissed off. And I, as I always am, was like, it's okay, Mom. And went up to my room, I remember, and probably bawled for a minute or so. But then I was like, you know what? I don't like my birthday anymore. And for some reason, it's always stuck with me that when it's time for my birthday, I get really kind of...
How do you get over that?
I'm over it now. I mean, slowly over the years because I finally realized what the issue was.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But
you said you still don't really
I still have a little bit of a twitch, a little bit twitchy, because I feel like also, we're August babies. And another thing too is when I was younger, I never had a proper birthday party because everyone was out of town on vacation.
Yeah, that's true, so because everyone's like out of school. So it's hard to invite your friends over for your birthday.
So I never had like a proper birthday party. Maybe my 13th birthday, I think we did it in September when school was back in, but I never had a proper birthday. So I was always like, man, always curmudgeon about it and stuff and everything. So when I have a birthday party, someone always throws me one for me because I can't do it myself and I don't want to do it myself. So I'd rather be just low key, like you said.
It's interesting because I love to be spoiled, even though I've never really been spoiled. I love the idea of it. But yeah, something about like Christmas in general just makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
so I feel like,
something.
but I do feel like if you want to like spoil me random, then I get excited and
Right.
I love it. I love surprises. But yeah, Christmas is just always like a tricky one for me.
Is it always Christmas or just like any holiday? Or is
It's
it just
like,
mainly
it's
Christmas?
really
though?
any holiday, like anniversary, birthday, Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So anything that requires like a gift of some sorts. Like, I just don't want to be told when to give a gift.
Yeah.
I want to give it just because.
Right. Well, these are the things, like you said, that you need to lead with your person.
Yeah.
Say, look, there's, like you said, I don't like gifts on the specific dates,
Yeah.
but I do like random acts of kindness.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and let's see if the person owns up to that. But it's very hard for people because, like I said, once again, especially with a lot of guys, we're forgetful as it is already when it comes to just
I'm so
knowing dates.
forgetful.
Like my family, like everyone, their birthday is on a different day. And I know I know the day now.
Yeah,
but
I
still
don't. I
send
forget
their shit
birthdays.
on separate days.
Yeah, I do too. I forget birthdays, so my family knows to remind me, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's Dad's birthday, and I'm like, shit, thanks for.
Yeah, here's a candle.
Yeah, thanks for
Let me
reminding
go in my
me.
cabinet in my house. Here's a candle. So
yeah, I just so that's something that a conversation that I would have. I think straight out the gate, like, hey, we're not doing anniversaries, we're not doing birthdays. But then again, if it's important to my partner, then I would definitely. Make an effort. So I'd have to set reminders and be a planner. Like Christmas for my kids, I start shopping in October.
that's good.
So I love to like kind of go all out for my kids.
Yeah.
But other people, it's just, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Well, what about,
Yeah.
for instance, I'm going to use birthday as an example because it's the
Sure.
best way to put it.
Yeah.
When you say you don't want, what about those people? Well, no, you don't have to give me anything, or I don't want anything, or don't do anything for me.
But then when you don't, they're like offended.
Yeah.
I have a few of those friends.
That's what I want to know. Right. And so my ex now, it's a really funny story. She literally on one of her birthdays goes, I don't want anything. I don't want a party. I just want to go to dinner. And I go, are you sure? And I kept asking, are you sure? And I go, you know what? This bitch is going to sneak up on me and flip me out. So I decided to throw a surprise dinner at the same place we were going with 10 of our friends. So we're in the car.
Yeah.
Her and I heading to dinner. I could feel the tension. She's fumigating over there. And I finally looked over and go, what is going on with you? She goes, I wish you would have invited some of our friends to the dinner and blah, 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 and this and that. And I went, you know what? I go, because I knew you were going to do this, happy birthday. And I invited like 10 of your friends. They're there to surprise you right now. And she felt like the biggest asshole because once again, she said she didn't want anything, but she really did want something.
I don't know why women do that. I don't play that. I don't like games at all. I tell you what I want and what I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, this is not working for me. I need this.
Right.
So I'm very good about letting my partner know what I need and
when
what
they
I don't
do
want.
it.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm saying, what if they don't do it?
Oh, if they don't do it?
That's the worst.
Then they better not do it again.
Okay. All right. You hear that, people?
Yeah.
This is a tough one over here. She's actually really easy. She's super laid back and super easy, but yeah. You just gotta listen to what people want and what they do. And nothing worse than when someone says, hey, I would like you to get me this.
Yeah.
And then they completely get you something that's not even in the realms of that gift.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm pretty easy. Like I've worked with this new company, one of the brands that I work with, I've worked with them for less than a year. And I'm like, okay, I don't see this person on a regular. And if he knows my favorites and he's able to like surprise me, it can't be that hard for my man.
Right.
And it's like the little things go a long way.
Of course they do. But unfortunately, some people.
Like, I mean, look what you did for me for Christmas.
Oh, yes. Please tell them. What did I get you for Christmas?
Yeah. So Chris, aw, we love you, Chris.
Thanks,
he
honey.
shows up with like a nice card and what is my favorite thing in the world? Baskin Robbins. Is it that hard? $100 gift card to Baskin Robbins.
Because I know you love you love Baskin Robbins.
I love Baskin Robbins.
And it's funny, I made her actually sit there. She was sitting on the table when we were talking, discussing episodes and our podcast stuff. And she goes, I go, so did you open it yet? She goes, no. And I go, well, do you want to open it? She goes, in front of you? And I know it's a thing, right? That's another thing too. You don't want to be put on the spot or whatever as well. And I go, and I looked at her and I said, no, this is appropriate. That's why I asked. I wouldn't have asked otherwise, but I knew it was something that you would get. It would be really funny.
Yes. And I was excited. Yeah. I was so excited.
Yeah. Well,
so thank you. So
welcome.
I feel like I'm not like a hard person. I'm very like simple. So if my guy hasn't figured me out in a year, then I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Well, it's a lot of this, people. Now, once again, we're talking about gift giving just in general. I mean, whether it be too early, whether you've been married, dating, just be, aware more than anything else. Just like know your person that you're with and what they like. Once again, the major holidays, I feel like you said, are not as important as getting a random gift off the cuff just on some random weird day.
Yeah.
I think those are the best. It could be a fucking cactus. I don't care if it's a fucking rock, just as long as it's with some sentimental value on it,
Right.
My significant, she gave me this. She gave me this necklace, and I wear this a lot. But
is it a giving key?
It is.
Oh
and she gave it to me one day where I was just at a low, and we were dating maybe about a month and a half, and I was just came in one day, and I was like feeling just kind of like, I don't know, sad or whatever that day.
Chain too.
And she goes, you know what? Here's what you need. She goes, and she actually, and it was just the most precious, just most like thoughtful gift that I ever have. And I love it.
You're such a lover, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like deep down, I feel like you're such a lover.
Oh, well, I thought you meant Casanova style too. I got that as well. Yeah. Here we go.
I love like handwritten notes too.
I like that as well. A personal handwritten note is really, really good. So I just like coming up with stuff that's creative, like out of the blue stuff. Like if you, for instance, like when you mention something and you say, and you saw it like 5 months ago, and all of a sudden it's the appropriate time. I would have gotten you that prize or present already and go, hey, here you go. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's that thing that I wanted like 5 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So if my guy mentions things too, sometimes I'll take notes.
Yeah.
So I'll write it down and then work on trying to find that for him.
I just like it all. You know?
Yeah.
I even more like you said, when you're more direct about this is what I want for my birthday.
But what if they can't afford it? Because some of my things that I like I know the guy that I'm dating, I would feel bad if he
But shouldn't you know
paid
that?
$2,000 for a pair of shoes.
I know, but you should know. I mean, if you're asking him, you mean though, right?
I mean, I would never ask for that.
But if he gave you the shoes, I honestly feel like it shouldn't matter because the gesture of him going out of his way to get that for you and spending his money. And I'm not saying this is for everyone. I'm saying it just in that instance. It's not like someone going out spending their hard-earned money for some stupid, wicked chick that's just a taker. She just wants, and just bleeds you dry. You're like, this is a thoughtful gift out that he's doing, working his ass off to get you something that he feels that would be for you.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, he might be paying for it in the long run or whatever, but still, it's just one of those gifts that you just have to appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I feel about these boots.
Okay.
Not that he couldn't afford them, but I know that it
took a lot out of him.
Yeah,
Okay,
it did,
yeah.
but he did it for me, and every time I put them on, I'm like, it makes me smile.
Right.
Because I know that it's a little like out of the norm for him, but he knew that I loved him.
Okay.
I was having a shit day like you were.
Right.
And he fucking surprised me with the shoes, and I couldn't fucking believe it.
That's the best.
So, yeah.
Did you get some good sex that night? Sorry, I got
oh
that
my
in there,
God,
'cause
yeah.
You better be getting some good sex in those boots.
He did.
Yeah, good.
I was like, baby, you got me these boots. Ooh, wait till you see what I'm going to give you. But yeah, so every time I put them on, it kind of, even though we're not together, like I smile because I'm like, oh.
Okay.
But for the most part, my shoes, I buy myself and yeah.
What is your number one? Yeah, that's gifts for yourself. That's a good one as well, by the way. So,
I like buying my own stuff.
It's
but
funny.
I've never really dated anyone that, like I said, that has maybe a lot of money that like spoils me in that way.
Right.
Like I've always kind of spoiled myself. So maybe that adds to me being uncomfortable when someone does something for me.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think in your case, it's just the thoughtfulness of just the gifts that they give and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Aw. It's
So-
holiday time. People actually, holiday time just
thank
passed.
God it's over.
I'm really always happy when it's over, by the way.
I'm so ready for.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. I wish there was like a button that put away my tree, my decorations,
God.
everything.
Yeah, your house looked beautiful, by the way. I didn't know you were one of those
thank
types that you just
you.
decorate the whole, situation going on.
Well, half of it's put away.
Okay.
But I had to leave like the other half out because I have a daughter coming home from college.
You got to wait till she gets home
to open her gifts.
Right.
And
You can't take everything down. It just takes away
Not
from
yet, yeah. And then I still do like Santa for my kids,
I love that.
even though they're old.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, you just, like I said, you're a gift giver and you love that stuff.
But
too.
I'm like excited for when they have, their like significant others. Because my brother's like, you still kind of spoil your kids. It's a little weird. And I'm like, I'm kind of excited when they like settle down and have their partner because I kind of want to like spoil both of them.
Okay.
And do like, couple gifts and
See, that's
be
great.
creative.
Are
and
they, by the way, sorry, are
Yeah,
they has it affected them? You know, sometimes as a mom and you're giving to your kids, do they know now that to pay it forward in theory?
Oh, do they buy me gifts?
Well, you know, like, do you feel like they would now pass on to their friends, like, you know, like instead of just a spoiled brat, get lots of gifts from mom, I'm selfish, or now are they kind of just as generous as you are?
So first of all, I'll preface with, we're very big into charities. So the holidays we've always made about giving back. So we always do Christmas for like quite a few families. And then the big thing behind it is delivering those gifts.
Okay.
So I instilled that very early on. We would deliver Christmas to like quite a few families. And then they get to deliver the gifts. So I think like walking into those homes and seeing sometimes like 8 kids sharing a room.
Right.
No Christmas tree, nothing. It made them, it gave them a new appreciation for what they have.
Good. That's good.
So
I was going to say, you do that or just do that scared straight thing.
Yeah.
Like, put them in a neighborhood, just like go.
Well, so we always did it through the church and the school here in Las Vegas. So there's like, you know, people that are added to a list. And actually last year, my daughter found the family. She's like, hey,
that's great.
I found these families on Facebook. And I'm like, sweet, pick a family. So I love that.
I think that's a
that
great
she
gift,
made
by the way, too.
Initiative.
Yeah, I think those are great gifts, by the way. You know, like doing something together is a great gift
as a family.
well. Yeah. I mean, just in general, like if like, you know, just all around in general, I feel like if you have a through line, you know, like if you're just giving back is always a magnificent gift, whether you're dating recently or in a long-term relationship, whatever. I think that's fantastic. I love stuff like that too.
I love getting involved with the charities and the kids. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
And then another thing that we did too, because I feel that we should be giving all year long and not just around the holidays. So some of the families that were really less fortunate, we would visit a couple times a year and just like deliver like grocery cards or just small things, but we don't knock on the door and make them feel uncomfortable. We just leave it.
Oh, that's great.
Because we already know the kids in the house. We know the sizes because we do the clothes.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we just we have the address and then we just anonymously like drop it off.
I love that.
So,
that's really good. I got to do more of that stuff this year. I've been wanting to go to like a kitchen and doing that. There's a charity downtown in LA that, you know, you can actually bring the food and cook for all the homeless that come through that area. Yeah. I would love to do that.
We do that for the veterans here too, like around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I love that a lot.
It's good.
Love that. All right, what else have we got to discuss, Jamie, on this episode?
So gift giving, whether it's appropriate or not, first date, I say, no.
Okay. Well, all right. Well,
don't do it.
So I forgot. There was one guy, by the way, when I put that thing on social media to say, when I start off this earlier on the topic.
No, I'm just kidding.
I go, so I put this question out there yesterday on social media about should you give a gift on first dates and what should you give? So some of the responses I read them earlier, like flowers and da-da-da and this and that. This one guy, who's such a fucking curmudgeon asshole, I want to know who this guy was. He goes, a gift, so he starts off really nice. A gift is a wonderful gesture when it comes from someone you care about, someone you are crazy about. But a gift from a relative stranger can feel like a bribe and may communicate low self-confidence, as if you gave the item because you fear she could not like you on your own merits. The girl is going to like you or not, based on how attracted to you she is, not based on gifts or dinner. Give her a few dates to figure it out how much she likes you before bringing flowers. So in other words, he was just like going off. And then he proceeded to go, oh, by the way, also look at these first date sort of situations. Like, don't bring a gift. Don't spend a lot of money on a first date. $5 for a coffee is plenty. That was his second rule. His third rule, do not talk about yourself except in response to her questions. Do not make crass comments about her attractiveness or her body. And don't let the date go on too long. An hour is plenty. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? Really?
Okay, so I agree with him on a few things.
But $5, I agree.
$5, no, first of all, my freaking coffee costs more than $5. By the way, thank you for my coffee today.
Welcome. Yeah.
I love you for that. But sometimes for a first date, I don't want to do dinner. I would rather do a coffee date.
Okay.
Like in and out. And I think like an hour, like if you keep me interested for an hour and I want to come back, it's a good sign. But like you said before, you used to go on several dates in a night. So you kind of know within the first few minutes if it's a go or it's not a go.
And mine were never at restaurants. My theme was just like a coffee shop.
Yes.
And I hear you on that, what he's trying to say here. Mine was always at a bar. So you meet them at a bar, you have a drink or whatever or two, and then you move on from there. Because I feel like, it's just like a coffee environment, but except at nighttime.
Yeah.
But I've never been on like I don't think really a day type date. Maybe I have, but things have changed so much though too.
And I feel like for girls, like we kind of put a lot of effort in to like get ready and look nice.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to put in that much effort for you to go to dinner.
That's a good point.
So I want to make sure that I like you.
I just don't like the dinner option as it is in the first place.
Yeah.
So I'm going to backtrack on that guy's statement. I mean, it's like do something, but I don't ever do a dinner for a first date. I think it's just awkward.
Yeah.
You're eating
I'm with
and you
you.
can't talk and your mouth is full. And people used to go, let's do dinner in a movie. It's like,
no, you can't
anything.
even talk in a movie.
No.
Movie is a bad
Unless
idea,
I'm getting a hand job. I'm sorry. With my
your
popcorn,
date comes
I'm okay.
with no panties under her skirt. Can I sit in your lap?
Oh, I remember those days. That was great.
I was talking to my girlfriend and she was like, there was a guy that wanted to take me out, and I noticed that we had a mutual friend on Instagram. So I'm like, hey, give me the scoop on this guy, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, he's a really great guy. And I know how she is. I'm like, did you sleep with him? And she's like, no, because I never got the chance to go out with him. But we talked and we never went out. And I go, I almost said her name. I was like, well, would you sleep with him on the first date? She goes, oh, hell yeah. She goes, at this point in time, I don't waste any time. I want to know what I'm getting, what I'm dealing with. But I'm not that way.
I don't think, as you call it, the dick and dash, what we found today, people. So Jamie calls this a dick and dash, which I was laughing my ass. I think every producer in there was laughing at that. But I feel like, look, if you do you know what I mean?
Let's explain the dick and dash.
Okay, go right on ahead.
Okay, so you guys, the dick and dash is when you go in, you get the dick, and you dash the fuck out. So it's literally sex and nothing else.
But wouldn't you call that a one
night stand?
Yeah, in theory.
Well, my only one night stand ended up not being a one night stand because he kept calling me.
Okay, right.
But the whole idea was like, it was kind of my rebound after I got divorced. And I'm like, this guy's smoking hot. I have no interest in being in a relationship, but I really just want the D.
Okay.
So that was like, and then he ended up following up with me, and then I'm like, I'm not going to see you. I saw him again. Amazing sex. And then it kind of like continued from there, and he'd be like, why don't you stay the night? And I'm like, look, I'm just not in that space. So let's just, yeah.
I think once again,
so that's the dick and dash,
I don't think there's anything
guys.
wong with that as long as you actually own up to it.
Yeah, I owned up to it.
I don't judge people for whatever, because everyone needs dick and dash, pee and peanut butter and jelly, anything like that. It's just as long as you own up to them, don't feel guilty after the fact. Nothing worse than someone feeling guilty after the fact is what drives me nuts.
What was the question though? We got off. Like, what was the initial? Where were we going, Chase?
We went from dinner and a movie.
Yeah. So
Jason, the movie theater.
So we don't.
Popcorn. Sorry, I'm just trying to make my memory happen.
So back to my friend. Like, I don't ever sleep with anyone on the first date.
Okay, so she did not.
But she is the opposite. Yeah. She's like, she wants to get it all out in the beginning and not waste any time.
Right. Okay, that's a Netflix and chill situation.
Yeah, I need more of a connection.
Right. I'm saying okay to both. So I've been through both, and I don't think there's anything wrong as long as you're.
What about you, Chase? You're younger than us.
What are the rules of engagement?
The rules of engagement and like first date?
Actually, let's backtrack. Before we ask him that, Chase, what is your view on gift giving too early? Like, are you a gift giver?
Yeah, but like in my age group, where, like in college kind of age,
right?
Lots of girls, they don't have like the romantic, like they never had like a guy bring them flowers before or anything like that.
Aww.
So like I'll like go out of my way to like make sure I go to the flower shop next door to bring their favorite flower maybe.
Okay.
Because I try to find that out kind of early on.
That's great.
Yeah. I
was going to say, with these new little techie kids, you don't send her like a photo of a flower and say, "This is for you, honey."
Absolutely not.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, now let's go back
endearing.
now to the first date thing, which you were asking. What's your thing on first date? Like, how do you like to do your first date?
So for me, I try to I do the coffee thing first, but we have really cute coffee shops in town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got like I have a favorite tea shop that's not around anymore, and then another coffee place that's really like aesthetically pleasing. So it's a vibe one way or the other.
What's it called?
Gabby, with like an umlaut over the A.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if we really hit it off at coffee, then maybe we take it to dinner or anything like that. But if not, then it's like, oh, well, we got coffee.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll move along.
And then you have like a friend, I see you when I see you, whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this, thank you for that, Chase. What I like about this is the fact that you're right. You don't, because I was going to ask you, but I think I probably already know the answer. They don't dress up as much. So you get the real person, not a made-up, full-on person that's not really truly them. Am I in agreement with that? Like, no one's going to fully dress up to go
coffee.
get coffee. You're going to be maybe a tracksuit or sweats, whatever it is. Well, yeah, and things like that. So it's a little less pressure, I guess. There's enough pressure as is in this situation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get some coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Well,
Let's
you're
go.
not getting coffee with anyone.
No, I was gonna say,
you're
myself,
settled
I
down.
guess. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm just going to get some coffee.
Yeah.
You know, just anyways in general.
I like it when my man cooks for me too.
I love doing that stuff. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't mind bringing someone in either, though, to do it now. I've learned as I've gotten older,
like
I
a
can bring
chef.
someone in. Yeah.
See, I feel like Joe was an amazing cook.
Okay,
so
that's
I
good.
always had like the best breakfast. He always made dinner, and he thoroughly enjoys cooking.
Right.
So if we would go on a trip, I knew I was eating good.
Okay, that's good.
So-
Right. Wow. See, that's another check mark. He's a better man than me. I'm a dinner doer.
Yeah, but I
not
mean,
so much
the
a
idea of a
breakfasty doer.
chef is
Yeah.
like how fancy
Yeah,
and nice to be
yeah.
able to like sit down and him not have to do anything.
That's the best. Yeah.
That would
See,
be
you
really
would have
cool.
to maybe take over and do that now, because if he's such a cook, then he's thinking I might have to make something. So now you have to do that back.
I
for
feel
him.
like he would want to be like in the mix and like the sous chef so he could learn. Because
Okay.
that's just this personality.
Then that's once again why you make it like a gift of a class situation at your own home or something. That's the same theory. So you're
What a
giving
great
a good
idea.
gift, but it's also you're getting back.
Yeah.
Because you get to eat.
Yes. And learn. And then if
Yeah.
it's really good, he can make it for me again. I'm
Right.
like, pay attention, honey.
Right. What about lingerie? What about lingerie for
Lingerie,
guys to girls?
love it.
From guys to girls.
Okay, if a guy, I've never been shopping with a guy. I
Okay.
think it's weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Why?
Don't follow
You mean,
me
wait,
around and
for
shop.
Just shopping in general.
Like if you want to take me like to buy shoes or clothes, I'd rather you give me a gift card, your credit card, something like that. I don't want anyone standing over me when
Okay.
I'm shopping.
But I'm trying to ask you though, are you saying that?
For lingerie, I will surprise you.
Okay.
So
Right. But my question was, you said shopping wise, you're saying, so if you're not, I'm not saying with the guy shopping for, I'm saying like if you go shopping, you like to go more by yourself than
yes.
the guy in tow.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm not like a big shopper anyway.
Yeah.
I know what I want and I'm in and out. So I'm not that
same.
girl that's going to spend all day like shopping.
Right.
The thought of it literally drives me nuts.
Okay.
And I have it like a
all right. And the lingerie, so basically
Lingerie,
you'd rather shop for yourself and then present it to them.
Yes.
That's great.
And be like, I will be like sitting at the dinner table in some nice
love
ass
that.
shoes
Yeah.
and
That was my Christmas present
something,
for my Christmas.
sexy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, she's got it.
Yeah.
But I've dated some guys that they don't like the lingerie.
Okay. Well,
So-
but I think like for me, like I thought I did not like lingerie, but now with my new
Oh.
significant, and over time, she's made me appreciate it more because she will not let me touch the lingerie until I've fully seen the lingerie, if you know what I mean. So,
yeah.
so she's prancing around in lingerie, and I can't. I just want to rip it all off because it looks so
Yeah.
fucking sexy. But it's like, no, you appreciate this. I'm like, so it's made me appreciate what she's paid
Yeah.
for, the cost, because agent provocateur is no. Like, easy sense of lingerie.
I used to do runway for them.
Okay, so it's
I
like,
know.
so she wants me to appreciate it first before I start ripping it off.
Yeah, that's like a
So I've
$400
learned-
bra.
I've learned to appreciate the lingerie. Thanks, honey, by the way. Yeah, so.
God, you're
Yeah,
fucking lucky.
I'm telling you, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fuck this one up. Don't do something too stupid.
Yeah, and then some guys are like, you know what, it just ends up on the floor, blah, blah, blah. But I love like.
That was my point of view, right. Because it will eventually end up on the floor.
Yeah, so I'm not paying like $500 for a set that's
Okay.
just going to end up on the floor. That's their thing. And like me being like a lingerie and swimsuit model, like a lot of times I've wore a lot of things. So I don't want it to feel like a job either. Like,
Got it.
fuck, here I go again. I
Right.
got to wear this.
Yeah.
But if your guy likes it, then it just makes it hot.
Right, but what if they pick out something really shitty? Do you just kind of
Like,
grin and bear it?
Please don't buy me anything at Victoria's Secret. Like, come on.
But these are things once you need the preface. And it's going to probably happen once because everybody needs to be somewhat trained. We all need to be
Yeah.
trained in something. It's like, oh, shit, she didn't like that. I know not to do that again.
Yeah.
So I get that. So
I mean, honestly, like if my guy bought me a paper bag, I'd fucking wear it.
yeah, you look hot in it too.
So.
So it's not so hard to do. Not at all.
I'm a pleaser.
Yeah. All right, guys, I think we are going to, should we stop here? This is a good little segue ending for us. This has been, God, we haven't done an episode together in a while.
I know.
I think the last two were
cool to
just,
like catch up.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah, I love catching up. This is good. We got a lot more to come, guys. I mean, this season, we should just let them know the season's going to be phenomenal. We have a lot of great guests coming on this season. We're probably doing some location stuff, hopefully, as well.
The Bahamas.
Yeah.
We'll be, hitting up the Bahamas. We have a great host out there, so we can't wait to share that property with you guys. Of course, we'll have video, try and include sticky paws and bring them out there. We have some exciting stuff coming with Microtech. SHOT Show's coming to Vegas in January, so we should have some cool guests on then.
Yeah, good.
And then
we're busy. I think we got a huge guest list. We're already got it's pretty big right now, and we're still guys.
Who's the podcaster we have coming on?
The podcaster coming on.
The gentleman.
Oh yeah, so we have a guy named Ryan Powell. He does this thing called Pillow Talk. He'll be one of our future guests coming on the show as well, but he's got a huge following, so he's he's hilarious. So I think he's going to be a good guest.
And anyone you guys want to see, like shoot us a DM, message us.
Questions as well, guys. Keep sending questions and DMing questions.
We can get them on the show. We have Dan coming up, Dan Lazarian, who's a very controversial. I got a lot of DMs about him.
Okay, already.
So I can't wait to share those questions when we get Dan on.
All right, maybe might have to start drinking this year on the show too, guys.
Who else?
By the way.
We have a therapist coming.
We have a therapist. We have a lot of psychiatrists coming on. A lot of therapists coming on. We have in all different realms. Some astrology. We have some astrology twins coming on.
And they're beautiful.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff. So I'm super excited on our 2022 season this year. A lot more episodes, by the way, because we started later on a
mid-year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about 2022.
Yes. People are really happy with what we're doing. So let's just keep this momentum rolling.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to not have a question on this one because it's just us.
Yeah.
So we don't need a question. We just say that for our guests.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, guys. That's another episode. And thanks for listening in. And we will see you guys soon.